Okay, can you guys hear me? Because my roommate's actually still asleep, so I don't know how loud I can talk. But it seems like she's completely knocked out today. So, can y'all give me like an indication how loud it is? Oh my gosh. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a bit disorientated. So, all I can say is this hair dye is going to be very interesting. I also just like downed 2 slices of massive pizza as well. But yeah, I'm gonna dye my hair blue. It's really reflective actually. And I'm gonna give you guys a bit of a story time, I guess. Let me get this prepped and sorted, and then I will figure out what's happening. Okay, so um, where do I even start with dating stuff? Hey, Alma. Okay, so my first I guess dating stitch was there's too many in my opinion. Because honestly, I was an idiot and I literally what did I do? Hey Kira. I'm happy to see you guys too. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let's see how this goes. Mm-hmm. As I was saying, probably one of like the first times I was like on a date and stuff was when I was like 16. And oh my god, like I met this dude from Friends and it was going all right at first, right? But but eventually like I got a feeling that it wasn't okay. In that sense, oh god, this is gonna be a mission and a half. Um so yeah, I started getting this feeling that he didn't really care. He wasn't fully into the whole sitch, and then it turns out he was playing me the whole time that we were like seeing each other, I guess. He used to come over to all my friends' outings and stuff like that. He would literally be the person that would just be around. Yeah. So I confronted him and I was like, listen, I know that like you do not care. Hey. So yeah, I was like to him, I'm like, I know you don't care about like a relationship and stuff together, and he's like, yeah, and I was like, then why the fuck did you waste like a whole term, which is like 10 weeks of my life? And he was like, I don't know, and I'm like, you're not asexual because you claim to be, but you're not because I know you're in love with like your best friend who's a like and he was like, yeah, pretty much, I'm in love with her, and I'm like then don't go around telling everyone all this other stuff because he was claiming a lot of things that he wasn't. And yeah, it took me a while to figure out. And so this was probably the first time a lot of my friends saw me cry. I'm gonna take out my left side. I hope this doesn't hurt the sound in any way. Like, let me know if it does. But this is the only solution I can think of because my roommate's still asleep. But yeah, so I was like bawling my eyes out at this get together with my friends, and oh man, it was not pretty because my friends at the time, okay, we were like literally basically the holidays before year 11. So you can imagine like the hormones and testosterones in everyone's bodies, and you can imagine the boys wanted to fight the guy. So I let him leave beforehand, before I came back and told my friends, I was like, they're like, oh, like, are you okay? Like, why are you crying? And I was like, oh, and then I just broke down and I cried, and they were like, what the fuck? We're gonna go find him. Like, we're gonna go kill him. And I was like, no, I already, like, I let him leave. So, yeah. And then one of the boys tried to, like, find his address, and I was like, no way, guys. Ooh, this is actually really dark. It's actually really dark. I don't know how this is gonna go, though. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, that was pretty much the first time that I got played in that sense. That was very fun. That was a big learning experience. And then I went and, butchered my hair. I literally. Okay, I'm actually gonna get like hair dye all over my table. Shit. Actually, shit. What was I saying? Yeah, so that was. So then I went and cut my hair short, like into a pixie bob. Like, I've shown you guys the photos before. So yeah, I literally got my heart broken, so I went and got my hair cut. And I was like to everyone, oh, I just wanted to change, but no, I was just being a little shit. But it was also funny. That is true. But at the same time, like, before I met him, I was also experimenting with cutting a lot of my hair off. Because around that time was when I don't know, I just felt like cutting my hair felt more natural to me. So around that time was when I started like questioning my sexuality as well. But yeah, like I had hair down to my hips then, but I literally chopped it all off. Not because of him, I had it cut before that. But yeah, I had it cut up to about my shoulder, and then after the breakup from my shoulder, I cut it into like a pixie bob. So that was fun. A wig, no more. I actually bought a wig, and I decided I didn't want to wear it anymore because it was really annoying. I felt really stuffy under it, actually. Wigs aren't as fun as everyone makes it out to be, in my opinion. I actually have 2 wigs at home. I have a purple one, like a purple silver one, that I used for Halloween a while ago, and then I have a brown one. But anyways, the next time that I had my heart broken, I should tell you about the time that I dated a 22-year-old online and I was 16 years old. That's a good story to talk about. Yeah, so I talked about this on my TikTok, but I'm probably gonna like just go in a bit more detail here. Yeah, so I went on my first international competition at 16. I came to Korea, and I don't know, it was my first international comp, and my brain just wasn't screwed on, obviously. So with that being said, I met a dude. Well, my friend and I were talking on the bus, and we were speaking like Mandarin to each other. And he literally turned around and was like, "Oh, you guys speak Chinese?" And I was like, "Yeah, like, can I help you with anything?" And I was like, "Oh, he's really cute." Like, I didn't know his age at that time. And he's like, "Oh, but you guys are wearing like Australia t-shirts." And I was like, "Yeah, we're actually from Australia. Like, we're Chinese, but anyways." So we started like chatting a little bit. Turns out he was from the same hotel as us. Yeah, I did learn from that experience a lot, not to trust so easily. But yeah, like around comps and at the comp, I would like see him around and I'd just go hang out with him. I didn't think too much of it. I was like, oh, I made a friend, and I was like, he's cute, but I made a friend. Yay me! I was really socially awkward at that time too, so it was a bit of a miracle that I actually made friends. Yeah, you see, Stranger Danger left. Like, actually, Stranger Danger just never stayed in my head during puberty, to be honest, which is dumb. But you will figure out that I have zero sense of danger, and I'm too trusting as these stories progress. But anyways, as I was saying, Thinking back, I just laugh at myself. But anyways, I watched him compete. He won like third, and mind you, this is an international comp, so getting third in in the comp it's very impressive. All right, so I'm not going to tell you the country he's from, but he's not from Korea, and he's not from anywhere near me. But yeah, so we hung out, and then eventually we had to go home. Like everyone had to go home. He had to go home. We had to go home. It was the end of the comp, and it was time to pack shit up and go. But I didn't get to see him on the last night before we left, and we were hanging out with his team and stuff. And it was chill. Like, and then he had my like Instagram, or not Instagram. He had like my Facebook and stuff before that. So he hit me up after we all got home, and then we chatted for like a week, and then he like asked me out, and I was like, oh my god, this older guy like likes me. I was like, you know, mad impressed at myself. So I agreed, and we started dating. Yes, he slid via DMs, and I was hook, line, and sinker, basically. Anyways, so we literally only dated for like a week and a bit, though. But I started feeling like this immense pressure because we were hiding it from everyone and stuff. And then one day, my genius ass didn't log out of the family tablet that was logged onto my Facebook. And so I left the tablet in the living room, and he was messaging my Messenger account. And I was talking to him on my phone Messenger app. So you can imagine the family tablet was like ding, ding, ding. It was like going off in the middle of the night. My parents were like, what the fuck? And so they went and checked it out, and then they realized that this guy was like messaging me, and then they saw the message, will you be my girlfriend? And they went psycho. So they came in to try and talk to me, but I pretended to be asleep, and then I ran out the door first thing in the morning for school. And then when I got home, they were like, what is this? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you need to tell us if, there's someone that's like making you feel uncomfortable. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I blocked him, blah, blah, blah. We were still dating in secret. Anyway, so then my parents took it to my coach. Yeah. And then I got lectured by him a lot. And then I also got lectured by his mum because I grew up at the gym. So she was like a second mum, basically. So, yeah, I got lectured by a lot of adults about the sitch. And then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I messaged him. I was like, listen, too many people have just given me lectures that I am not really enjoying. So, yeah, like I was just like, I want to break up with you. Like it's nothing on you. It's not your fault. It's just timing's not right. And it's long distance online, and also mates are like 6 years older than me. And my best friend was with me, and she was like, you're a fucking idiot. So it's a miracle that she's still good friend. She's still my best friend to this day. We've been friends since she was 11. So she turns 22 this year. So yeah, I'm glad she stuck by my side. And yeah, she's honestly lived through so many of these stories. She's actually lost count of like the amount of dudes and dates I've been on. I feel bad about her. But anyways, yeah, so she was just like, okay, well, it's done now. Like, just be a better human being from now on. And I was like, righto. He didn't take it well, if you were wondering. He was very confused, and he was throwing a tantrum online. And he's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And then he comes like 3 hours later, and he's like, I'm sorry, like, can we try again? And I was like, no, because I just got lectured. Like, I got my ass, literally, I was like 3 steps away from getting my ass kicked in, like, permanently by them. Yeah, I know. Funny enough, he actually lives in the same country as me now, so we both live in Korea. So isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? But yeah, seriously, word of advice: don't think about older dudes. Like when you're an adult, right? when you're like over the age and you know you talk to dudes that are older, like that's fine. But when you're in your teens and the dude is over 18, just don't think about it because they're not right in their head if they're trying to talk to a 16-year-old and they're over the age of 18. Unless you guys were obviously like dating beforehand, that I can't really say much, but you get what I mean. When you meet someone new like that. Anyways, I was 16, yeah, so that shit happened. And then moving on, and then the guy broke my heart. Okay. Um, so then in my final year of high school, I realistically didn't do much because I was busy like filming the documentary, but also like trying not to like KMS myself, you know, because it was like HSC and all that jazz, like final exams. So nothing really crazy happened then. But the year after that I graduated though, let me tell you. Okay, so like some of you guys know that I worked at a karaoke bar straight out of high school. Oh, yeah. Sorry, hun. How do I say it? My mental health hasn't been great through the years. So it comes and goes in patches and stuff like that. Kind of like my hair right now. But yeah, literally it wasn't a great time during that time, but at least I wasn't done with boys or girls, you know? But yeah, straight after I graduated, and I was working at the karaoke bar, some of the kitchen staff were hitting on me. Mind you, I was literally the youngest one working there. I was 18, everybody else was at least over 20, at least 22. Yeah. So I quickly developed crushes, as you do, because I'm an idiot. And at first I had a crush on one of the girls, actually. That was surprising to me. But yeah, and then I had a crush on one of the guys. I'm still good friends with him now. He actually doesn't know that I had a crush on him. But yeah, I'm gonna go see him when COVID calms down. But yeah, like he's like a big bro. Cheers, guys. Cheers. But yeah, so that was very interesting to me. And then I figured out that one of my co-workers liked the other guy, but this guy was like, "Oh, I'm bi and I have a preference for dudes," and I was like, "Fair enough." But the guy actually wasn't bi with a preference of dudes. He actually just straight up was gay, but he just didn't want to tell everyone that he was gay. And I was kind of like, guy, you know, you just gave her like massive false hope. But you know, it's his business what he says and stuff like that, so he can't do much about it. But anywho, so we moved on, and then one of the kitchen staff that I thought was a bit cute, you know, asked me out, and we were like hanging, like we were chatting online, texting and whatnot, the usual stuff, you know, get to know the person. And with time, you know, I thought he was really nice. I thought he was really easy to talk to and stuff like that. Listen. Oh, he was Korean, so this is why I say Korean men ain't shit. And I remind Jin of that every day as well. But yeah, I was basically talking to this dude. He was, I think, 22. I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember he was a lot older than me though. I was 18 at the time though. This time, so that's a bonus, I guess. This is so bad. I'm just exposing my dumb ass. Anyways. Oh, trust me, I wasn't the one that broke it the worst. Anyways. His heart's fine. I healed it fine today. You know the reason why I just woke up from a nap? Because he came over to do grocery shopping with me, and then he took a nap together. Like, he was like, let's just cuddle for a little bit. And I was like, okay. Next thing I know, death grip, and we're both asleep. So, yeah. When Jin says cuddles, you have to set an alarm so you kind of wake up when you suddenly fall asleep without warning. But Anyways, this dude, let me tell you, I literally was an asshole to one of my friends because I felt so uncomfortable on this date with this guy. Okay. Like, um, so after talking for like a week, we were like, okay, like, do you want to meet up? Like, do you want to actually go out on a proper date or something? And so I asked him if he wanted to come with me to, you know, it was my mum's birthday, and I was like, hey, do you want to come with me to pick out like earrings with her? And he was like, oh yeah, cool. So we went to Pandora, and I picked out a pair of nice studs for her. Mind you, this was like my first proper paying job, so I didn't have a lot of dough. So I was like, she likes earrings. Pandora's good quality, and she'll know that I spent some effort on it at least. To this day, I'm the only one that buys her branded stuff. My brothers don't do anything like that. But anyways, so yeah, we went and bought her a gift, and then we walked around the harbour. We walked around and we sat down and started chatting again. I mean, it got very philosophical, right? And then this dude just kept leaning closer and closer to me, and I just felt super uncomfortable all of a sudden. Like, look, ladies, you're gonna find this weird gut feeling every now and then when you're with a guy, and I literally got that feeling, and I was like, oh, we bought movie tickets, I don't want to go in. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen in the movies and stuff like that. So I felt very uncomfortable. So I realized that it was around the time that one of my best friends was clocking out because she was working. Where is it? She was working near the city. Well, she was actually working in the city, but she was near the harbour. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, listen, I have a big favor. She goes, what? I'm like, I will buy you a ticket and I will buy you dinner, but can you please come to the cinema with me? I do not want to go in there alone with him, and I already have tickets. And she goes, okay. So literally, this mate of mine, she did me a massive solid and third wheeled into the cinema with me because I didn't want to go in alone. Um, and in the cinema, like, it was all chill until suddenly, like, he just grabbed my hands and it was like holding it, and I was like, what the fuck? So, me being this really awkward person, I didn't really. Yeah, she came through, but but I was just really awkward and I didn't know what to do. So then I grabbed her thigh and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "He's holding my hands. I don't know what to do." And yeah. So with that being said, I and then he leans in and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was just like, "Mm-hmm, I'm okay." But obviously, clearly, I was not. But I was just too like afraid to say anything. So I was in there, like, this dude was holding my hand, and as soon as he leaned in to talk to me, I like covered my mouth because I was like, I am not having my first kiss like this. So yeah, the whole movie he just held my hand, and then afterwards, I made my friend run to the train station with me because I was like, oh, we're gonna miss our train, blah blah blah, and we ran. And then on the train, I was just like in shock of how like that gut feeling was just eating me alive for some reason, like just this discomfort. And yeah, so I was just really grossed out by the whole thing for some reason. And then what was it? And then yeah, so my friend slept over that night to kind of like calm me down, and then he called, and she was like, I was like, I don't want to talk to him, and she was like, fair enough. And then yeah, so she picked up, she spoke to him, and she was like, listen, she's not really, this was a really awkward day for her. She felt really uncomfortable. She's really sorry, but you probably should consider taking things a bit slower in the future. Telling him the truth and trying to calm the situation down. But he didn't take it well. And he was literally like, oh, well, if she wants to date me, like, she has to be ready for these things. And I was like, excuse me? No. I was like, excuse me, none of that shit. Yeah, trust me, he was very persistent. And I was just like, I'm not having any of this bullshit. So with that being said, I then that was when I contacted. Well, that was also like the week before I dipped. I went to another state for a while for comp. So I disappeared. And then when I came back, he was like, oh, I missed you, you know. Yeah, the audacity of men in these situations astound me. But yeah, like he was just telling me that. He was just like, oh, you know, I missed you a lot. Can you guys still hear? I just switched the AirPod around. So I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, like I came back and he like sat down with me during his break, and during his break, I didn't do anything, you papa. Alright, stick. Jin, they were commenting how they really liked you. Okay, you're fine. But yeah. So then this dude, yeah, he switched up real fast, and then so basically everyone, was it? Yeah. So then he literally cornered me because I was the receptionist. So I can't leave the front desk, right? Unless I go to the bathroom, which I have to. Pardon me. I then have to just be like to someone, hey, can you come to the front? But obviously I can't go to the bathroom for his whole break because his break's like an hour long. He chose to spend like the whole while with me, and I was just like, this is really fucking awkward. And he was like, and then he kept talking about like his goals and stuff. And the only thing in my head at the time was like, if like this is really like toxic kind of athlete mentality though. I'll tell you that first of all. But I have this really toxic mentality at the time that like if you have a goal, you got to do it now and you got to do it. None of this like, oh, I'm working towards it slowly kind of thing that he was like telling me and describing to me. Because at the time I was like, yeah, like I, you know, it's just really toxic athlete mentality. That's all I can really describe it. But yeah, he was telling me how he had all these goals and that he wanted to do this, this, and this with his life. And I was like to him, I'm like, listen, you're not doing any of that right now. You know, you got to really think about the future and stuff. And I got really like confused on why he suddenly was telling me all of this. But yeah, like probably just in a way to tell me that he had like calmed down and slowed down. But I was like, and then I just blurted it out. I was like, I'm so sorry, but can we just stay friends? I'm like, I'm not ready for a relationship. And he was like, he took it a bit weird. At first, he was like, oh, okay. And then he proceeded to try and talk for a while, but he felt, I don't know, it just got really weird and awkward. So he got up and left, and I was like, holy shit. And then 3 weeks later, he quit. Yeah, he quit 3 weeks later. And then, not long after, another dude started there, right? Dude was also Korean. This was during my K-pop phase. Don't come at me for it. That's the only reason why I have an issue with girls like idolizing K-pop Korean guys and stuff is because I went through that phase, and honestly, it is a really shit phase. It just messes with you mentally. It messes with you a lot. But yeah, like I thought that like, you know, dating all these guys would make things a little bit easier for me because I was like, I ain't coming out to my parents. Like that's a conversation I do not want to have. You know? Yeah, trust me. Like Jin is on a completely different spectrum of all that. I'll explain why. But yeah, I was just like, this is stupid. This is ridiculous. And so this guy and I were like talking for a while. We hung out for a bit, and then we went on a date. Oh, I just remembered. My mom actually didn't like those earrings. So she didn't like them, and they were also broken. So there was a bit of a defect on them. So I took them back, and I got like I exchanged them for a different pair, which she ended up loving. So that was a sign to me that like, get out. No, he's not the one. Like, you know what I mean. So then with this new guy, we were like chatting, we were hanging out, we got to know each other at like a Halloween party, and then we decided to go on a date. So on this date, we had lunch and we just hung around, did normal stuff. Except I paid for lunch, I paid for dessert, and I also paid for a bunch of other things. Yeah. And then we went to a park to just sit down and chat. Um, it was silence for like a good hour that we were there because he didn't really have much to talk about besides the fact that he was pretty much the same as the last one, saying how he had all these dreams and stuff like that that he wanted to do, but obviously wasn't doing shit towards it. So toxic mentality Angie was also like, no way. So he walked me to work. I think the only reason why he walked me to work was because A, we worked in the same place, but also his apartment building was next to our workplace. So if his apartment wasn't next to our workplace, he honestly wouldn't have come back with me, um, which I probably wouldn't have minded. I probably would have preferred him not have come with me. But yeah, I was just like, wow, 2 out of 2 stupid ass toxic Korean guys. Good job, Angela. Now, with that, and then so after that, like, you know, he did some dumb shit. I went abroad for a bit for comps and stuff, and then I came back, and then I can't remember if he quit or his visa was done, but like he left, and I was like, sick. I can resume my life here. And then this was when one of my best friends was also moving back to his country. So we had this massive party for him. It was all fun and games, and then we came back to our workplace to do karaoke because like most of us were employees, so we didn't have to pay, so it was like good and cheap, and we could drink a lot without anyone telling us off. So yeah, that's the perks of working at a karaoke bar if you guys are considering it. But and then I met one of my friend's friends, so I got introduced to his friend, and this guy was my age for once. But he was also Korean. Ha. So I was, how old was I then? 19? Wow, a lot of things happen. See, this is why I said don't do like you got to get out of that mentality that Korean guys are good. I've just done 3 out of 3 duds. Trust me. Actually, he's not even the third. I did 4 out of 4 duds before I found Jin. Yeah, 4 shitty dud Koreans. My bad. Anyways, I'm not saying all Korean guys are bad. I'm just saying the experience that I had. Don't recommend it. But anyways, this guy, I was like, we didn't really even chat very much at the party. I just knew his name, that he worked at this local like restaurant that we always went to drink, and yeah, like we chatted, and he left early with his friend, and then I was stuck with all these drunks, and he messaged me. He's like, "Are you okay? Like, how are you holding up?" And just checking up on me. And I was like, oh, well, they're all drunk, and I don't know how I'm going to carry all of them to the train station because I'm 5'2", like 158 centimeters, right? And I was wearing like high heeled boots, and they were like 6'2". There was a 5'8", but he was chunky. And then I had a friend that was like 6'3", but like square. So you can imagine, like, I couldn't carry any of them, right? I could probably help the 5'8" guy, but everybody else would just, yeah. So, I was like, well, yeah. So I was like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna get back with all of these drunks. And he's like, oh, well, I'll come back and help you. And I was like, what? I thought you went home. He lives in Strathfield. Yeah, Stra. Anyways, So he's like, "Oh no, I'm not home yet. I'm still in the city." And he came back and helped me get all these drunks like back to the train station. And so I was like, "All right." This is why I said Strauss shit. One of the reasons. Um, but yeah, like he came over and helped out, and we chatted. And then he stayed with me until it was his stop. And then yeah, we just kept chatting for a while, and then we went on a date. Um, First red flag should have been that he was very very late on our first date. He was about 2.5, almost 3 hours late for the date. I honestly should have left, but my dumbass was like, "Oh, he works the night shift. Like he works later than I do at the restaurant." So, because I used to finish around midnight. Um, he would finish around 3, 4 a.m. So I was like, it's fine, like no stress. He probably just had a really big night at work. And plus, I was just vibing in Starbucks. So yeah, it was chill. And then we went to a pub to talk. Because the pub was actually quieter than Starbucks. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Anyways, we had a beer and we just sat there talking. Um, I don't know if anyone watching this knows, but if you know Sanctuary Hotel or Sank, yeah, my first date with this guy was having a beer in Sank. The thing is, if you go to Sank, it's already a bad sign. So, yeah, my first date with this guy was at Sank, and we had a beer. But we talked and we laughed, and it was lots of fun. We got to know each other more. Um, I didn't really catch what his dreams and hopes was for this one, but all I caught was that he had a lot of things that he wanted to do, and that was about it. Oh my god, Sank, it's so bad. It's such a bad rep, but yeah, you get what I mean. Um, Anyways, so yeah, like dude and I hung out for a while, and then it was around dinner time, and I was like, listen, some of my friends are in the city. Do you want to get dinner all together, like all of us? And he was like, yeah, all right. So we all hung out with my friends, and we got dinner, and then we did karaoke. Yes, karaoke is going to come up a lot during this time because I work there and I had nothing else better to do with my life at that stage. Um, so yeah, we did karaoke, we all hung out, it was pretty fun. And then he literally kisses me on the cheek a lot during the night. Um, I was wearing a skirt, like a dress, and so he took off his shirt and like covered my legs with it, and I was like, wow, what a gentleman. Um, Basically, the bar for men is too fucking low. But yeah, he did all that, and then and then we caught the train home together. So it was looking good, right? It was looking optimistic, right? Right? Yeah, that went down the drain pretty fucking fast. The next time we hung out, he was basically like no show. I was supposed to hang out with him before work, and he just dipped. He never showed up, and I was like, fair enough. He's probably just so knocked out, so I went to work. I wasn't upset about it, but he apologized afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, make sure, like, let me buy you dinner sometime to make it up." He never bought me dinner to make it up though, so. But anyways, he did buy me coffee. Like, he literally went and bought like coffee and cake pops to apologize to me, like at work. So I was like, "Oh, cute." Yeah, he stood me up, but then he apologized with cake pop and coffee. Dumbass me didn't realize it was a red flag. I was like, "Oh, like you try to see the good in people," is what dumbass me did. Okay, um, and so yeah, I was like, okay, all is forgiven. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I was like, oh, all is forgiven, all is right in the world again. And then a couple of days later, one of my friends was having a party at karaoke because everyone was using my discount. Yeah, we abused that discount. Like, I kid you not. I feel like they lost so much money because my friends kept going there. But yeah, so we hung out and stuff like that. It's alright. Wait till you hear what happened to him and what he does. That will make things better. But yeah, so some of my friends were really interested in meeting this guy because they knew about, like, they all remember what happened in high school with the other guy that, publicly made me cry. So they were like, oh, we should meet this guy now, before anything else happens. So they meet him, and then they were like, oh, he's really nice, He was with a friend, and he bought me a fresh coffee, and then he gave me a kiss on the cheek, and we were like all hanging out and stuff for a bit, and then we went back to the city because we went to Strathfield to meet him. But yeah. And then after that, I really did not see him after that. I'm gonna be honest, I really did not see him after that because he ghosted me. Like, he didn't reply any texts, and I was not gonna call him. So yeah, he didn't reply to any of my texts. His Facebook practically became a ghost town. And I was like, wow, okay, I see. So I was pretty like Devo for a while. I was like, maybe he just didn't feel it anymore, whatever. He's moving on with his life, I should move on with mine. So I went along and did my own shit. Funny enough, I didn't go on any dumb dates for a while. Right, until the end of the year. Where I met that guy's best friend. And he was like, oh my god, like, you're still in the city. And I was like, guy, I live here. And he goes, oh right, you're a citizen. And I'm like, yeah, because all of you aren't citizens. Literally, my social circle at the time were all working holiday visa dudes and chicks. And I was like, that's a bit concerning. Minus my high school friends, right? But anyways, yeah, I didn't go on a date with his best friend. Let me explain. Turns out his best friend moved into the same room or same house, share house, as my co-worker, right? And so I bumped into them buying some groceries, and they were like, oh, come over for dinner next week. And I was like, okay. So I went, I know, I went over to their house and had dinner with them, and the best friend was like to me, oh, so have you heard from so-and-so? And I was like, yeah, I haven't heard from him in like since May. This was like October, November. And he's like, oh yeah, you probably won't. I was like, why? What did he do? Is he okay? And he goes, actually, he has gambling debts. And I was like, okay, like, what's so bad about gambling debts? And he goes, no, you don't understand. He's wanted by the police. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? And he goes, yeah, he stole money from work, and he stole money from here and there, and now the police are after him. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I went on a date I was seeing a future felon. Like, the fuck? Dude, the guy was only like 3 months. Yeah, 3 months older than me. And I was like, where the fuck do you have gambling debts, bro? Like, were you gambling from the womb? But anyway, so like, yeah, so he just meh. I know, you should have seen my friends' reactions as soon as I told them. I was like, listen, and they were like, what the fuck? Because no one felt anything shifty from him. That's the thing. My friends have more of a flight, have more of a sense of danger than I do. For someone who does martial arts and competes in a combat sport, I have zero sense of like danger for some reason. So yeah, my friends have more sense of danger, and they were like, we didn't feel shit from the guy. And I was like, bet. I was like, that is fun. So yeah, we all laugh about it nowadays, the fact that Angela was on a date with a felon. So yeah, I don't know if he's been caught. I wish him all the best, but please own up to your mistakes, kind of thing. But yeah, that's that one. And then, oh wait, I miscounted. I had 6 Korean flops. Yeah, I had 6 Korean flops before I finally learned my lesson. So the very first guy online wasn't Asian. Then the next one was Australian Vietnamese. Um, and then it was like all these Koreans. Yeah. But the crushes weren't Koreans, surprisingly. They were all different kinds of people. And then there were other crushes that I had for a while, and they weren't Asians. Men and women. But yeah, so yeah, that was the end of 2017, basically. 2018 though, that was an interesting year, let me tell you. That was the year I had my first kiss. I went overseas to a competition, and this dude was looking me up and down, yeah. So the first dude that I went to buy earrings with was literally the first 2 weeks, basically, of January. And then the like the useless, I guess, the one that I paid for everything, he was like in the middle of the year-ish. No, he was around October. Yeah, he was around October. Wanted Man was around March till May. So yeah, that was all 2017. But yeah, 2018 I went to a comp, and then this dude was literally eyeballing me and checking me out at the airport. And I was like, dang, he cute. 1 year. There was like 1 year 3 dudes. My bad. Look, I didn't do anything with any of them, besides like the most was they kissed my cheek. But yeah, I had my first kiss in 2018 when I was overseas at a comp. This guy was eyeballing me from the airport, and I was like, wow, he's cute. He's gonna be at the comp. You know, I will just get to know him at the comp. Turns out he was my neighbor at the accommodation. Oh, the chances of that. Dumb Angie thought, wow, fate is really helping me this year. Fucking dumbass. Literally, Angela is a dumbass. Yeah. And so we didn't do any talking. We exchanged Facebooks, and we chatted for a bit. Oh yeah, the coincidence gets better, trust me. Eventually, after the comp, we all had a massive party. It was our team plus his team plus another team, and we were just all hanging out, having drinks and stuff. I didn't hang out with him. I hung out with somebody else. And some other people. And then he got a bit salty that I was blowing kisses to some of the girls. And he was like verbally and publicly displaying his dissatisfaction with the fact that I was blowing the girls' kisses. Yeah. That was fun. And I was like, oh, he's jealous. How great. Yeah, I told you I was a fucking dumbass. Still am, but you know, I have gym now. But yeah, literally. Oh yeah, he was full of that shit, and I didn't see that until much, much later. But yeah, he what was I saying? And then so yeah, he was like on the last night I was hanging out. This is also when I met my Korean coach, the one that is my coach now. Yeah, so it was his team that I was basically hooking up with at that party. But he knows about it and he laughs and jokes about it. Oh no, everyone laughs and jokes about it these days. So yeah, like this dude was like, "Oh, let's go to the playground and like let's chat." And I was like, "Okay." So we went to like hang out and chat, and then he like kept asking me. He was like, "Oh, you really don't have a boyfriend?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Why? Why don't you have a boyfriend?" And I'm like, "Why should I have a boyfriend?" Um, yeah, I know this is a whole fucking mood of a emotional roller coaster. Um, this is why I wanted to do on the live so I could like give it to you all now, I guess. Um, but anyways, he basically was like trying to reassure himself that I was like single, and I was like, listen, I don't have a boyfriend. I think you're cute. What's gonna happen? And then he leaned in and kissed me, and I was like, fair enough. 10 seconds in, he went in with tongue, and I was just so confused. And then he started feeling me up, and I felt very uncomfortable. And I was like, this does not feel right. This does not feel okay. This is very like creepy. And so I was like, hey, like, listen. And he was like, let's go back to my room. There's no one there. And I'm like, no. And he was like, why? And I was like, because. What the fuck? I just met you. Like, saying that I just kissed him too, but like, you get what this. You get what I mean. There's different levels of this shit, okay? If you're comfortable enough to kiss someone, doesn't mean you're comfortable enough to, sleep with them and stuff like that. But I was like, no, I am not going back to your room. That's a fact. And he was like, okay, fine. And then, continued in the back of the park. And then we got disturbed by some of his teammates. And yeah, he was also drunk. Well, he was under the influence, I should say. I was also under the influence, so obviously decision making went out the window. At least I still had some sanity left and not go into his room. But yeah, so eventually my coach was like, "Where the fuck are you?" And I was like, "Ugh." So I ran back, and then I said I needed to go to the toilet when we all went back to our rooms, but I really wasn't going to the bathroom because I was just going outside to make out with this dude. So yeah. And then we all went back to our home countries. Everyone did their own shit. And I really thought we were gonna end up like dating and stuff. But we talked. We were like, we were talking and stuff for like 2 months, 2 weeks, sorry. And then he just suddenly like ghosted me in any sense. Like he just stopped talking properly. And then so I messaged his friend who I was like friends with. And he was like, I'm pretty sure he's just playing you, so you should probably leave. And I was like, okay. I was mad upset because this guy took my first kiss, but at the same time, I was like, not gonna stick around for a dude who has zero priorities for this shit. So yeah, that is how I left that situation. But I know ghosting is really shitty of people, but I'm pretty sure I've done my fair share of ghosting. Anyways, I'm gonna quickly change my earphone around so I can do this here and keep telling you guys the rest of these stories because there is some more. Yeah, there is literally some more. Because your girl never learned. Clear to say. Okay, so basically, after that shit went down, I came home, like I was at home and I was like, I don't need no man. I was going through that. And what was it? Yeah, and I had like come out to my friends through it. This is a color treatment kind of dye. I don't know how permanent this is gonna be. It might stain my hair. The plan is for it to stain my hair because I'm not really feeling this copper color on my hair. But yeah, I'm liking it so far. It smells nice though. But yeah, so that's my first kiss. Did not end well. At the time, it felt like a fairy tale, but did not end well. to say the least. Anyways, and the plus side, that's how I met my coach. And he was like, if you ever want to come and study, just let me know. And I was like, okay. So yeah, I messaged him and I was like, hey, listen, I want to come now. And he goes, okay. Because he would see me at comms and he would be like, when are you coming? And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I will come soon. And eventually I made my way there. But yeah. I had a very bad moment at a clubbing scene. Yeah, that was bad. I got very drunk, so I started hitting on this girl. And drunk me also is very easily influenced by people, to say the least. So I told my friends that if I got very drunk, that they were not to let me be talking to other people too much. But obviously everyone was busy with their own shit. So someone managed to convince me to go make out with a dude that I had secret feelings for a long time. And so drunk me had the balls and courage to go do that. Yeah, liquid courage, as they say. So yeah, I went to try and kiss this dude, who was also my friend, a very close friend. Yeah, it was really fucking awkward the next day. Thankfully, he turned and rejected me. But I was also like, and then I had a meltdown. I had a massive meltdown. Yeah, drunk me is dramatic. I don't like drunk me. It's why I don't drink till I pass out these days. But yeah, I had a public meltdown, and then I like kind of passed out on the side. And then I remember the security guards helping me come outside, and I was making friends with the security guards, and they were like, why are you so sad? Like, why are you crying? Blah, blah, blah. You know, you're such a pretty girl, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, listen, I can tell, you guys all think I'm like 12 because, you know, I look 12. But, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, look, I'm just sad because this dude that I've been into for so long rejected me tonight. And, you know, I was just saying all this stuff. Bro, I remember one of them. His name was Tony. He's the lad. Anyways, they were like literally like, listen, you can do much better than this guy. Like, doing their job. It's what security guards do, okay? And they were just giving me all this positive reassurance. And I was like, you guys are the fucking best. So yeah, they were just telling me all of these things. And at the end of it, I was like feeling better. And everyone went looking for me. And they were like, where the fuck is Angela? And then they were going, oh, she's up the front. And I was like, hi guys. And then we all hopped on the minibus and went home. That was good times. But then the next day, I had to see that friend. It was really awkward because everyone was really hungover and we had something really important to do. So everyone was like, clubbing was a bad idea. Why did we go clubbing? And I was like, don't ask me. Yeah. And then a couple of days later, I like apologized to that friend. I was like, listen, I'm really sorry about that. And he was like, it's fine, you know, don't worry about it too much. And I was like, bless. But I really didn't really get over that friend. Yeah, I didn't get over that friend of mine for a very long time. Probably up until like end of 2019, I think. Actually, no. No, I got over him when I started dating my ex at the end of 2018. My bad, my years are getting... It feels like it's supposedly been a lot of years, but at the same time, that was still only 2018. Yeah, I'm amazed at myself too. How fucking dumb can you be? Anyways, I started dating my ex at the end of 2018. That was fun. That was very, very, very fun. Yeah. I can't say too much because technically we're like family. None of this, it's not Sweet Home Alabama shit, okay? I met him at the wedding of my god sister. His brother was getting married to my god sister. Yeah. We hit it off. It wasn't anything crazy. But eventually we talked for like a month and a half before dating or anything. And then eventually it just became clear to me that we were both too different and we wanted different things. And we were already dating at that stage, about a month in. And I was like, I can't do this. And there were a lot of other things that were happening at the same time. And, mentally, I don't think I was ready for a relationship like that. Even though I thought I was, but I really wasn't. So I was like to him, I'm like, listen, I don't think it's a good idea. Like, basically, I just tried to get out of that relationship because it wasn't good for my mental health. And I knew that for a fact. And it wasn't going to do him any favors with staying with me, especially if my mental health was like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then so I had the help of one of my best friends in the world to help me kind of break up with him too. Yeah. It's a miracle that I have friends, in my opinion. Absolute miracle. But anyways, one of the things that I should regret doing, but I also don't, was I got very drunk with one of my best friends and we hooked up. Yeah, so that was a learning experience because everyone had been placing bets that we would end up together, but obviously we didn't. What had happened was we hooked up at a New Year's party, and we were like, what is this? This is so weird. Like, we never saw each other in that light, but everyone had always painted this picture of us to do all these things, and we were like, what? And so he went overseas, he went to travel, and I was here doing my own shit. And then we both realized that we cared a lot for each other, but not in the way that you would as a relationship. So we were both like, yeah, pretty much. We both realized that we were better off as friends and like siblings. So yeah, that's pretty much how that one ended. He's still one of my best friends to today. We're like drinking buddies. We're like mad drinking buddies. I really miss him a lot. I do. I hope he's doing okay though, because he's an idiot. He actually is. I'm mad concerned about him sometimes. But anywho, that's was it. So that was 20. Oh, I also found out that gay co-worker of mine from the karaoke place, turns out he had a massive crush on that friend of mine that I hooked up with that everyone was placing bets on. So when he found out, he was like, he goes mad. He wasn't like mad invite. He was just like lucky. Like he was just like, I'm jealous. And I was like, why? And he's like, I wanted to kiss him. And I was like, okay, well, you're not missing out much. And he goes, why? Was he bad? I was like, I haven't kissed a lot of people to really say that or give anyone a rating, but I was also, okay, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of dye left and I kind of want to put it in my hair because there's no point of keeping it. Wow. Anyways, so yeah, he was just like, he's like, what, was he really that bad? I was like, no, he's not bad. So I was like, I can't really give anyone a rating in terms of kisses because, yeah, I'm no kissing expert. I was just like, it was nice, And so yeah, that pretty much sums up 2019 for me. What happened 2020? 19. Did I do anything crazy? No, but I did become infatuated with the guy I tried to hook up at the club. So that was not fun. But then I got over him in like 3 months. Got over those feelings. Yeah, so I pretty much was jumping around a lot. Purely because I thought that being in a relationship was something I needed to do for some reason. But I also did focus a lot on my own kind of healing in that sense as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Because then at the end of 2019, I was focusing on moving here instead. Men ain't shit. Jin, you hear that? You ain't shit. And then I really didn't do much from like early 2020 until I moved here. That was like 3 months because I moved in March. I did become really good friends with the bartender at just before I left. That was fun. We still chat. He's mad salty that I'm here because he's a massive like Mamamoo stan. He's just like, you're in the land of all this, and I'm like, it ain't rainbows, bro. But anyways, and then I met Jin. Yeah, and then I met Jin in May, and then we started dating. So we met early May, and then we started dating like towards the end of June. Yeah, I love Mamamoo too. But yeah, that's pretty much my chaotic love life, I guess, from like 2014 up until early 2019. I have like zero genuine deception. That don't give him a big head. He's gonna continue that. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys about one of the Korean dudes that one of the other ain't shit Korean dudes that I kind of had a crush on. So I had a crush on him, and he didn't tell me straight. Like I said to him, I'm like, I like you, do you like me? And he went like he was beating around the bush. So I never got an answer, but I figured it out. No. And then so when I met him, I was 17. Right? I had the pixie cut, nothing attractive. I had a round face. But like, and then I met him again last year when I got here. We went on like 2 dates, I think. That it was fun on the dates, but also like we didn't really have much to talk about, I guess. Um, yeah, I just like went south. So I didn't see him from like 2015 up until 2020. So I hadn't seen him for 5 years. And yeah, like it was very weird for him to suddenly like hit on me like that, in a sense, kind of. And I was like, but you know, weirder things have happened, right? I was seeing a wanted man. Yeah, if my friends, when and if any of my friends watch this, they're gonna be like, Andrew, you're a fucking dumbass. Yeah. Jin is a charming guy. He really is. I enjoy his company a lot. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of things that we do talk about. I actually don't know how long I'm supposed to leave this in my hair. Hang on. I'm only supposed to leave this in my hair for 10 minutes. I'm gonna do 15 because my hair is horrible. It's too thick. So yeah, we're gonna do 15. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. I had a mind blank. Okay. I don't know. This thing says 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm gonna do 15 just in case. But anyways, yeah. So Jin is an interesting one, I guess, because I think in a way the other guys that I was like seeing kind of thing were like vanity, if you get me. Whereas like some of the ones that I was hung on to for a long time were ones that like I had known personally. Um, what I like about Jin and Harley asked me out. Well, we are going to do like, how we met and stuff like that. So I'll save it for that. But I will say it was a very interesting month before we actually got together. Um, yeah. We'll be doing that story time soon. Soon. But you have to find time to film because it's quite hard at the moment because of corona restrictions because you're only allowed maximum of 4 people in a room. And because my roommate and her boyfriend are upstairs at the moment, they come out and hang out downstairs with the two of us. So, which means it's quite hard for Jin to come over. And because obviously none of us have anything to do at the moment, the room's not always vacant. Yeah, like, I don't know. I used to swear a lot when I talk about those guys, but now it's just like water under the bridge in that sense. Like it's a funny story to talk about these days. But Jin on the other hand, God, this kid, he annoys me so much. But I love him a lot. He's an interesting one. I do get embarrassed sometimes a little bit in that sense because I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. Oh, don't say that because then he's gonna keep pestering me about it. He was already pestering me. Actually, originally I wanted to do a video of me dyeing my hair and him with me, um, or him dyeing my hair, and then I was gonna do a story time about all of this. But he was like, "It's not Korean culture." Like he felt really awkward about it, and I was like, "Okay." Like I did pester him for a while, but and then he was like, "No, I'm really not comfortable with this." And I was like, "Okay, I will save it for another time. I'll do it myself." And then yesterday I couldn't live stream, so I decided, you know what? Let's do a live hair dye with you guys. So yeah. Oh, his tummy's doing a lot better. A lot better. Um, he had medicine and yeah. The other day, the vlog that I posted, he was supposed to have like been okay, but the only problem was that we had a really bad bus ride, so it really shook him up. He felt really sick. Um, we were actually going to do the 4 course meal trend from TikTok because it was this really beautiful food court we were at. There was lots of different foods, so it would have been really fun for us to have done it there. But obviously, like he was really sick, so we couldn't do it for dinner. Because for lunch, there were even more people than there were for dinner. So I was like, it's gonna be hard to do it for lunch. So yeah. But it's okay. It will take some time to do everything because there's a lot of videos that I have planned to do very soon with you guys as well. Especially these like live streams because it gets me to like talk to you guys and interact with you guys a bit more rather than just doing it through my videos all the time. Uh, but yeah, he helped me go grocery shopping today, so I'm gonna try and put together a grocery haul and tips video. I did one before on my channel, but it was also like kind of orcs. I don't know. I didn't really know what I was saying at the time. Yeah, because at the time I was just giving you guys like general stuff that most of you guys know, but gonna gonna kind of teach you guys like how to prepare and what to cook and what you can do with certain stuff because there's certain you're very limited with resources in different countries. For example, I wanted to eat apples today, but it was going to cost me about $10 for a kilo of apples. Um, and I wasn't about to pay $10 for an apple, so I bought 12 kiwis instead for like $5. Yeah. Plus, I still have my avos ripening up. So yeah, I think the only thing I really like, all the fruits that I really kind of want to eat is like strawberries. Also, blueberries were expensive, but it's also winter, so can't really complain too much. Yeah, veggies are pretty pricey here. Uh, like depends on certain ones. I mean, today I spent about $40, $45, and I bought carrots, broccoli, uh, pork, half a like a whole chicken basically. Um, I bought juice, I bought milk, I bought mushrooms, and I bought bok choy. Yeah, I'm gonna make some free shavakadu toast once it's all ripe. Oh, I also bought cucumbers and tomatoes. So I did a really big haul. Um, so it only cost me about 45, and this amount of food will last me for like 2 weeks. Ah, I also bought like 30 eggs. So if you know where to shop, it's a lot cheaper. Like before, I was spending maybe like almost 100 every other, like every 2 3 weeks for groceries. But now, like going to the local mart right next to our house, like it's saving us a lot more money. Cause hang on a second, I'm literally right next to the fridge. This whole thing of chicken is like, how many grams is this? Actually, it doesn't even say how much grams, but this was $5. There's like whole thighs and like 2 breasts. I think this was about 500 grams of pork belly, like pork, and it was like not even $3, just about $3. It's literally like 2,600 won. So yeah. But beef is expensive, so we don't buy beef unless it's on sale, or we go to like a beef restaurant, like all you can eat, I guess. Other than that, we don't really eat beef. The milk's really small and expensive. Cause like Woolies and Coles, you can get like a whole 2 liter bottle jug thing for like $2. I paid $2.50, $3 basically conversion. I paid $3 for this. This is this small. This is the cheapest milk. This is the standard size. Sorry. So it feels weird to spend so much. But the juice is really cheap. Like I paid like $1 for like a whole thing of just pineapple juice. Yeah. Oh man. My fridge is like stocked, so I need to clean up my fridge. Yeah. I mean I'm not like the biggest beef eater. I'm really beef. I'm not like the biggest meat eater, to be honest. I get like cravings for it, I guess. It comes and goes. Most of the time I'll live without it. I mean, I don't think I could live without rice more than I could live without meat. I mean, being pescatarian would be super easy. Oh my god, pineapple on pizza is the best. What are you talking about? Hey! Hello, my dear. How are you? But yeah, like it's chill. Oh, I also threw out 2 cartons of milk. Like there's about this much milk left in the carton, but I threw out 2 of them today. And they'd pretty much been in the fridge since I moved in September. So oopsie daisy. It's good to see you too. Aw, I'm glad to know that our collab is still doing well. We should do another collab soon. Yeah, rip the white cow titty juice. because chocolate milk comes from brown cows and strawberry milk comes from pink cows. But honestly, I miss chalky milk. Chalky milk and like chocolate milk is different. Chalky milk hits different. Surprisingly, it was still liquid form. I feel like there's some added preservatives in there. I have an apple that I cut maybe like 2 months ago. I kid you not, I cut this apple 2 months ago. Give me a second. Wow, the reflection is really bad off this. It is not moldy. It is not dry. If you shave off the opening side, you can eat this. But I'm not going to eat it. Because I bought this apple in October, November, and I cut it like around then. I don't remember. All I remember is this apple is old as fuck, so I should probably throw this out. But yeah, there's a lot of shit in here that is old and we need to throw out. Lactose. Yeah, I actually, fun fact, I actually can't have a full cream cup of coffee. Like, when I have coffee, if I have full cream milk, I get sick as shit, man. But I'll drink milk out of the carton and it's fine. So, Korean cafes don't really do almond milk unless you're in a place where it's predominantly foreigners, where they get requested for almond milk a lot. But yeah, like around here, no one really requests almond milk, so I'm pretty screwed. So ice Americanos with like 7-8 pumps of syrup in it. I know, I should just really consider carrying my own little bit of like soy milk and just tipping it in on my ice Americano. But I don't like soy milk, so almond milk it is. Yes, nut juice, as they say. I'm so over myself. I'm sleep deprived. Yeah, we share the fridge. Currently there is over 10 heads of broccoli in our freezer. Because they were turning a bit yellow, so we were like, oh, we should chuck them in the freezer. I still have some budae in there. No, you're too sweet. And there's some meat up in the freezer as well. So it's not a big thing. I'll do like a proper fridge tour with you guys. The only reason why it's not cleaned out and done properly is because Jin has my Tupperware containers and I can't really sort out anything without my Tupperware containers. Thank you a lot, Jin. Honestly, mini trees with broccoli? Actually, no. Mini trees and bacon, that's what I was thinking. My brain is fried. But anyways, mini trees and bacon, the best. Seriously. Is how I got my brother to eat bacon? No. It's how I got my brother to eat broccoli. I'm sorry, eggs and syrup? I mean, like French toast and syrup? Eggs and syrup? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, if it's a souffle omelette, I guess, with syrup? That is an interesting combination. I have to try that. I got, oh man. No. I can't. I saw that in America and I was like, that's a no from me, fam. I can't do that. Built different, yeah. It's just offensive to the eggs, you know? I mean, I should probably take off my necklace as well so I don't stain it blue. When I was in America, like it was very interesting to see the portion sizes, the portion size difference. We were at Caesars Palace, I think. I can't remember. I wasn't the one that booked the accommodation. Somebody else was. But we went downstairs to eat, and my friend ordered pancakes, right? And they were like, she was like, oh, like how big are they? Um, and like how many of them are there? So the guy's like, oh, there's not too many, but there's a good amount. He's like, it's not like this big, and then it's like 3 stacks. And she's like, okay, fair enough. It was this big for one, and it was about this thick altogether. And it was covered in strawberries and cream and like maple syrup. And I was like, at the time, I was also cutting weight, so I hadn't eaten properly for like a week basically. And she was eating these pancakes in front of me, and I was like, mm. So yeah, that was very fun. Like you really don't want to straight out. That's just offensive to the eggs, man. That's just rude. I could not. Although I do want Jin to try a century egg. A century egg is a preserved duck egg that is black. It is very delicious, even though its appearance says otherwise. But yeah, I really want Jin to try a century egg because I don't know how he would go along tasting balut as well. My friends and I would eat balut like a lot whenever we got to eat like Thai food, because we always went to this like there were 2 restaurants along the same street. We'd either go to either one of them, and we'd always get balut. Um, I at first was terrified of it and I didn't want to eat it, but after my friends were all like, let's just all get it. You guys can all you chickens can all like eat it properly, get over your stupid fear. So we all ate it together as a collective, and safe to say, my life changed. It was delicious. And yeah, so I do want to see Jin eat both of those eggs. I don't know. Oh, tea eggs. Yeah, I make them here sometimes. It's mad fun. But I need my dad to send me tea leaves. The tea leaves here are hard to find. Yeah, I know, but I have to try and find the food as well. That's the only thing. Like, you can't find bullet here. You really cannot. It's so hard to find unless you go to like a Thai restaurant, but it's not always guaranteed they have it because Koreans won't eat it, so it wouldn't really be around. Century egg is something that they don't really eat. I'm pretty sure. I can go try and find some. But I do have Vegemite. So we're going to do the taste test very soon of all the Aussie food that I received at the end of the year. We originally wanted to do it a bit earlier, but we couldn't because then my stomach died and then his stomach died on repeat for a while. So yeah, now our stomachs are okay, so we should do this taste test. Oh gosh, all different types of eggs, yeah. I mean, we could try that. It could be like a good way of like people learning how to cook eggs different ways to keep things fresh. Um, I need to buy a new pot then. Yeah, I kind of only have like one. Yeah, it's like potatoes. Do you know how many different potato recipes you can make? I don't have an oven, which pisses me off. I want an oven so badly. But it's fine. I will get one later. I will get one later when I move out. Did my timer finish? I don't even know anymore. Oh, my timer finished. Anyways, so I am going to make Jin give me my containers back tomorrow so I can film this grocery haul and help out any other broke students to start learning how to cook. Oh yeah, I should try and look for a toaster oven. Yeah, that'd be nice. Boiled eggs are really easy to do for the fridge, which is nice. But anyways, I end up using them for like egg sandwiches, so then there's like no eggs left. Oops. Anywho, I'm gonna go rinse this out and I will show you guys on my TikTok. And you guys will see in my next video. So I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. It was really fun. Do you guys have anything you guys want from me before we head out? Otherwise, if you guys can't think of it now, you guys can send me a private message about stuff as well. Anywho, yeah, I hope you guys get some rest. Cause I know Australia's it's 10:30 right now. You should be asleep, child. And it's like early morning in the mornings for the US peeps. So yeah, I know I had a lot of fun spending time with you too. So with that being said, I'm gonna go rinse this out. Yeah, it's 3:30. You should catch some sleep. Anyways, I'm gonna go wash this out. You guys can tune in on my TikTok in the morning to watch. I'm posting around 7 a.m. my end, so about 9 a.m. So yeah, I love you all. Okay, so I was gonna say my catchphrase, but like I really don't know if I want to say it on live streams anymore. But anyways, I love you all. Bye.